B&E Sports. What's up, y'all? We're back this week with tight end sleepers and more tight end sleepers because there's no such thing as a value pick with tight ends because they're all kind of shit. So we're just going to give you what's best out of the group. So here's Evan. We got any news this week to talk about?
Like we just mentioned in our last video, college football just started. So we're just ready for the season. I saw Aaron Judge hit 250 home runs in his career. Played the least amount of games of anybody ever to do that, which is pretty crazy. You forget how young he actually is.
He ran like 4.3 speed while he was doing it, right?
Yeah, bro. Fastest guy ever. Yeah. Ricky Henderson, 6'7". But yeah, that shit's crazy to think about, honestly. Faster than all those top dudes like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, obviously.
And Aaron Judge is kind of old, too. He got into the league at 28.
He was 24 as a rookie, dude.
Old. Not 28, but shit.
Older than you'd think for someone like that. 24 as a rookie?
Most of the guys that take off like that are fucking rookies at like 18, 19.
Yeah, like 20 or under type thing.
Yeah.
I think Mike Trout was a rookie at 20 or 21 even. But Bryce Harper came up the same year as him, and he was like 19. Bryce Harper flew through the minors.
Bryce Harper was the best prospect ever, yeah?
Bryce Harper was more highly regarded than Mike Trout, like, coming into the MLB. They were both, like, everyone knew Mike Trout was going to be hard. But,
yeah.
They
thought Bryce Harper was that thing.
Yeah, like, that's who you wanted, like, card-wise, when you were chasing cards back then. You wanted Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know how Trout is now. Dude, I watched a video the other day. This guy, it's an old video, a recording from, I think, 2010, which makes sense. This guy, or maybe 2009. He's opening 2009, like, Bowman. This is Mike Trout's, like, first Bowman cards.
Oh, I saw that.
Bro, he pulled, like, out of 25 Mike Trout autograph out of it. And he's like, I think this guy's pretty good. I'm not sure. But, yeah, and he, like, just said it was high.
It was like $1 million card.
It's like $100K, bro.
It's insane.
Insane. But, that's how sports work.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady. You know what I mean? 6th round.
You just never know.
I just like that.
It just comes to show if you get an opportunity, anybody can do it. It doesn't matter where you're drafted or what your athletic ability is,
Yeah, exactly.
One more thing to touch on real quick before we hop in is the Cooper Kupp news.
Oh, yeah.
Man might not play week 1, so Van Jefferson bumps up your list a little bit because he's wide receiver 1 now in a group of people that they don't really have a lot of receivers right now. So,
Van Jefferson's actually like not a terrible receiver.
No, he's good by all means. He just gets injured all the time.
Mm-hmm. Like, it'll be good for Matthew Stafford to have to just trust him because Matthew Stafford was out damn near the whole time Kupp was out last year.
Right. Yeah.
I will jump into these tight ends now, guys.
Let's do it.
Kyle Pitts is a guy that is, I don't know how high he was being drafted last year, but probably, I think, in the top 4 tight ends. That was obviously a bust. But this year, he's dropped down to the tight end 7. And I think that's really good value. Me personally, I have him over guys like Kittle and Goddard and Darren Waller. I don't know if I could go as far as to saying I could rank him over Mark Andrews preseason, but he has just as big a potential to finish over those guys. Like, he can be number 2, behind Kelsey, and it would not surprise me whatsoever. That's a good, if you need a tight end, if they're going fast in your league, he's usually down the board a little bit more. He's worth snagging. And after that, there's a pretty large drop-off really into the talent that you're looking at. So I would snag him before they're all gone. Definitely Cole Kmet, too. Another Bears pass catcher. Last year, he led the team in targets and receptions and yards and receiving touchdowns. He's not going to do it again. But, he already has that connection with Justin Fields. And he's just going to be open because DJ Moore is going to be pulling off safety, extra cornerback, whatever it may be. He's going to be doubled. And Cole Kmet's going to be pretty open. He's definitely going to be the second guy on that team. It'll be fun to see him do it because he's being drafted right now as the 15th tight end. So if you can get him as your bench guy, that's great, especially if you're pairing him with one of the top people, because he's going to, he has real top 5 upside, I believe, this year. The team is going to score a lot more points, is my point. He's going to get more touchdowns. And then Juwan Johnson. Derek Carr has provided some pretty good tight end play over the course of his time in Las Vegas. I could see him doing it again in New Orleans. And Juwan Johnson had a great year last year, kind of out of the nowhere, really. I don't see why he doesn't do it again. He's being drafted as the 18th tight end, so that's another dude, your bench spot. That's a guy I feel like I would be pretty comfortable with plugging in and playing if I needed someone to fill in my lineup. And he's also a guy that I think he has, top 10 upside this year once again. And, but more than last year. I don't think last year was his peak. He really didn't have that good of quarterback play. Derek Carr is going to get him that ball. And then the last dude is Dalton Schultz. He's out of Dallas, down in Houston now, across the state, unfortunately. We're going to miss him here. But I think he's going to be pretty dang good down in Houston because C.J. Stroud is going to need a safety blanket, just someone to pepper with targets, short yardage stuff to bail him out of situations. I don't think that he's going to have the easiest rookie year ever. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be pressured on a large percentage of his plays. So Dalton Schultz will be standing there probably open like he was in Dallas all the time. And he's going to be getting a lot of catches. That's a great PPR guy. I wouldn't even feel that bad starting him if I was playing in like a 12 or a 14-man league. Like, him being my number 1 tight end. I wouldn't mind that, but if you can get him on your bench, that's amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind at all having him as my starting tight end. There's a lot of guys that run by the philosophy of not taking a tight end high whatsoever. So if you can get Dalton Schultz low while like backup guys are going off the board and you can snag them to be your starter after filling your board with a bunch of quality guys at other positions, you're sitting super sweet because
he's going to produce.
Yeah.
He's going to get catches.
In Dallas.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Big time. Yeah, he's somebody I would have on my sleeper list as well. Super, super good.
Yeah.
And I want to say Kyle Pitts in our league last year went in 3rd round.
Yeah, and I mean,
because he super high expectations out of him.
The expectations are gone, and I feel like he's going to produce now that they're gone.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. All right, I'll get into mine then. First, I've got Dalton Kincaid. Rookie, he's going to go hard with the Bills. Josh Allen likes to find a nice underneath target to go to a lot of the time, and that's not always needing to be Diggs. It doesn't need to be Diggs every time. So Dalton Kincaid is really, really going to do it. He's going to put up some PPR numbers. I feel like he'll be that solid 5 catch guy, maybe more. And he'll get you a very solid, 40, 50 yards a game or so. Enjoy it and get him really low. His ADP is going as 20-something tight end.
Dalton Kincaid is the 14th.
Get him where you can. The next guy on my list that's also pretty low on the ADP list is Tyler Conklin. Man's going to be in New York with Aaron Rodgers. And if you don't remember last year at the beginning of the year before Tyler Conklin got hurt and the Jets started going through their fiasco, he was a top 10 dude and giving you double-digit PPR numbers, which was nice and startable in almost every league because tight end sucks. So anybody that gives you double-digit points, you're happy. I'm happy with 8 points out of my tight end on the week. Sometimes I'm just praying he gets more than 5. Mark Andrews last year did it to me multiple times. Somebody you expect to get 15, 16 points a game and walked out there and gave me duds for 3, 4. Just at a stinky tight end position. It is what it is. Next up, I've got the other Saints tight end, the guy that's getting paid a hell of a lot more money to seemingly just scramble around the backfield a bunch. Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is making about $10 million just to run around and make some pretty cool plays, but he's never really put in the position to make the plays via catch at the actual tight end position. He's always kind of in that halfback quarterback spot. This year they said they're going to play him more at tight end, so expect them to do it and have fun watching them do it because Derek Carr is going to get on the ball a lot, and he's going to be a startable tight end come the year end. And next year may even make him draftable. If you're on the board late in your draft, you see Taysom Hill sitting there and you just want to fill out a bench spot for a tight end, take him and reap the rewards.
Man, yeah, we're just different on those Saints tight ends this year.
Yeah.
I know Taysom Hill's going to do something.
He has to.
I just don't know how much they're going to involve him in everything.
Mm.
I always am just waiting for them to use him because he seems like he's their best option for pretty much every play. You know what I mean? Maybe not every play. Like now they have Olave and stuff. But last year, I was like, why is he not touching the ball like all the time?
Why is he not their quarterback has been my question for the last 4 years. He walked in and played quarterback, and they were winning games consistently. And that was when Drew Brees was around, you know?
Yeah.
And he kicked ass. Like, why is he not starting at quarterback for them? They just went out. Jameis, this, that. I understand Derek Carr now, obviously. He's by far and away a better quarterback, a real quarterback.
Yes.
But those other years, when he was giving them winning football.
And they're already paying him stuff. Like, I would have just let him roll out last year and see how it goes.
I think it's honestly they didn't want to pay him the full $140 million. They wanted to keep him on the nice little sweet $10 million or whatever. But
he seems like the type of guy that would say, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take that money and I'll just still play quarterback type thing. Like, he honestly seems like that type of dude.
I agree. Hopefully he can just be on the field more this year and actually play his position. I think it'll really, really pay off if they use him how they say they're going to.
Well, maybe we'll both be right and they'll start doing a bunch of 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, that'd be badass. They're 2 great tight ends.
They really are.
I don't want to hamper on Juwan Johnson because I used him in multiple leagues last year. He was my starter in 2 leagues come the end of the year. So, you know.
Yeah.
Not a bad dude. Maybe they start running those 2 sets and both of them catch a little Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez-esque.
Okay, real quick. Don Kincaid is the 14th. You can just cut that in when he says he's like 20-something. Let's take a 5-minute college football break.